been seen.
Let's see. YouTube is live. Kit is live. Trovo's live.
Trovo looks live, yeah. Send this to Sam.
Hello. Alright, so we've got Aravan on kick.
In theory. And guess
Yeah.
2874328.
Guess 28. Who? What? To who?
I didn't make any tell. I don't want emails. I get your YouTube and I get your Twitch.
Okay.
Got your YouTubes and you got your Twitch.
Alright, so we're gonna get started with a brand new Invisible Sun campaign called Reflection is in Order. You good?
Twitch wasn't muted.
No.
Sorry, I paid attention to your streams.
So we're gonna kick things off. We're gonna do the remaining portion of character development. So it'll be character foundations and then neighborhood development. And then we'll have a fifth player join us here in the very near future. He's going to be getting out of work soon. Yeah, he's right there, over in the corner. What I'd like to do is start with each one of you guys introducing yourselves as your characters. You know, everybody's here to see your character or hear your character, not to see or hear us. So, you.
All right, I'll be playing Ileana Mistweaver, the aromatic gallant of the Order of Makers who turns tales into reality.
And I'll be playing Zerafina Calderasa, and she is a itinerant rogue of the Order of Weavers who caught Fire's Eye.
So we need to have a slightly higher pitch and feminine voice coming from both of you.
She's very manly.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
You can't tell with all that armor she has.
Right. Gotcha.
And I'll be playing Essos Oblis, a bizarre stoic maker who disgorges creatures.
Disgorges creatures.
Yeah.
She's got stomach issues.
Yeah. Stomach plops out, it grows legs and just starts skittering around.
Fantastic. Just stomach.
Brought to you by Taco Bell.
Your chili.
Expedition 4.2.
Yeah. No,
I don't think that works on this one.
no, I don't think so.
I am playing Vladimir Bullet Simonov, an iconoclastic gallant apostate who heralds plagues and bad breath.
Incredible. Well done.
Okay. So maybe you're the reason why he's having some stomach issues. All right, so everybody's gotten to the point where they've figured out their basic sentence, give us an idea of who all their characters are. You guys have gone down the road of, for the most part, picking up equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I still got a little bit of finishing to do on my side of things.
See, this is where you just lie and roll with it.
I can't lie. It just doesn't work.
Well, if we're doing equipment.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah. So, somebody got the rule book already?
You do.
Which one?
I can actually do that.
The key. Probably. The key. I do have the key pulled up, actually. What do you want?
So we've got to go to, it's going to be all the way through to the Elite Foundation is where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
144 Foundation. Yep. 8 foundations. Cool.
So there are steps that have not yet been done that we need to walk through for each of you guys' characters.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. So that part's done, that part's done. So done. I already did all this.
Except for the last part, the neighborhood.
Do you guys have all of your shadow skills and all of that figured out?
No.
Let me check the thing I sent you.
What the heck is a shadow skill?
Yeah, what's a shadow skill?
I think I had my shadow skill chosen.
You put this somewhere in here, don't you?
I think that's my
Here.
one.
So, I'll read it to you guys real quick. Everyone starts with a shadow skill. A shadow skill is something learned in shadow within the bonds of one's false life. This lake who lived as a firefighter might retain one of the physical skills she had, climbing, perhaps breaking through barriers, or receiving notifications. A Bisley who had a boating hobby might retain the ability to sail. One who worked as an accountant could keep a skill in mathematics. This level 2 skill can be anything that could be learned in shadow, from sailing to cabinetry. Simply be a profession like sous chef or accountant, although a focus skill is better than a broad skill. Criminal is likely too broad, but stealth or lying is fine, unless you're SOS. Something with very little application in the actuality, like computer science, is probably not a good choice, but ultimately the decision is yours. So what kind of shadow skill would Vladimir have?
Rolling.
Okay.
Didn't know this is rolling for looks. Perfect. I just had that under my skills, right?
Yep. And just make sure you note that it's your shadow skill and it is level 2. Firebug. Because I can't remember your name.
Z. Z for short.
Z. Okay.
Uh Swords? Like, is that too broad? Or can it be sword eating?
Isn't it sword swallowing?
Whatever.
Oh. I mean, you can do that.
Which one?
Yes.
He's probably swallowed.
Waka waka.
You could do sword swallowing, I guess, if you wanted.
Could come in handy.
Unless I could do sword juggling.
What about acrobatics or something like that, where you were in a
So-
circus performer?
I already took acrobatics as
Oh.
a skill and balance and surviving when I made the character. So, and I mean, she was in a tightrope walker that messed around with burning swords. So,
Fire resistance.
Or performing?
More like sword handling.
because that's so much better than swallowing.
I mean, you go with what
How
you're
about
good at.
how
right?
about swordsmanship?
Yeah, there
We
you go.
just
There
put
you
it
go.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe something maintenance like sword polishing.
Wow. So
This is your skills.
so you just put that in the skill section and
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Level
Yep,
2
level
shadow
2
skill.
shadow.
Level 2 skill sword polishing.
I actually did have mine set up. I chose cartography. And it's because my Visley, is that how you say it? Cool, awesome. In the shadow, my Visley was an ancient explorer who would try to cross lands to see sites that were never before seen. My Visley carries with them a compass, however, it always seems to point north towards me. So that's like my memento, I think. My shadow note's a memento.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So it's a useless compass.
Only to you,
Yep.
not to somebody trying to follow you.
Or is it?
Alright, what do you got?
I think I'm gonna go with knives because in the shadow, Ileana was a serial killer.
Which orifice are you sticking?
No.
these knives
Wouldn't
Wouldn't it have been spoons?
with? She's a serial killer. Was. Yep.
Was.
Reformed.
Yeah. She's born again.
Reformed.
Okay, so Aso's has already got the shadow memento figured out. How about the rest of you guys?
I had mine figured out. Ileana was caught and institutionalized, where she got shock treatment and whatnot. So before she was finally like executed. So I'm thinking her shadow memento is going to be a straitjacket.
Nice. Just like in the pocket or something.
Hang it up, just a reminder. You know.
You're putting other people in it, maybe.
You know what? Sometimes you want to give yourself a warm hug.
It's like a safety blanket almost.
How about Z?
So I'm getting that this is just supposed to be like a useless item.
No.
Hold on, I am
It's
briefly
mundane, but
teaching myself what this is before.
You want me to read it?
You're good.
No, I can read.
Can you?
Uh,
Are you gonna read it?
do you want me to read it aloud?
yes, please. I don't want to look it up.
Once ensconced back in the actuality, most Vizsla call to them an object from their false life that had meaning to them. This might be something purely sentimental, like a photo, or something with practical value, like an automobile or a weapon. The idea mostly is for the memento to be something that helps establish the character's personality, like a stereo or a coffee maker. An object that says something about who they were or who they remain. Vizsla, trapped for so long in the shadow, can't help but be shaped by it. Even once back in the actuality, with memories and knowledge of the true world returning, they still retain a bit of their false life. All Vizsla return to the actuality with one object taken from the shadow, regardless of what it is. The object works just fine in the actuality. If it's something that shouldn't work there, like a television, no one's broadcasting, or a smartphone, there's no signal or satellites, it still works. The television gets channels from Shadow, and the smartphone can access Shadow's internet. However, and this is a big however, in the actuality, things that would have meaning only in Shadow are seen as the obvious and downright absurd deceptions that they truly are. Television show, even a news program or a documentary, appears fake, silly, and vapid. Information gained on a smartphone is meaningless. Texts and phone calls are mostly nonsense.
That
So,
sounds like reality, just in
right.
general.
So I'm thinking tickets, a roll of tickets from the circus.
Cool.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. He already said his. Did you feel that bus hit you?
Hmm?
You just started going to the bus.
What?
Ah.
Huh? No, I was
Mine
typing.
is gonna be my
Deep
rosary that I wear on my neck.
Really?
One of the cathedrals I stayed at for Shadow.
Hmm.
Forgot to hit edit first.
Okay. All right, we got the shadow skill and shadow memento taken care of. Let's talk about quirks. Some of you naturally have quirks.
You want to read that one out loud, Joe?
I mean,
All right, I'll pull it up.
I can go first. I got
this
my.
lay are odd and varied creatures, like the one to my left. Magic within them manifest in strange ways. Most call these quirks. Quirks are neither advantages nor disadvantages, and if they occur at random times, you never have control over them. They're just unique aspects that mark a Visley. You should choose one from the following list of quirks or use these as an example to make up your own. Here's a few examples for you. If I'm not touching gold with my bare skin, I get jittery. Green plants that I touch turn blue for a brief period. Everyone says upon meeting me that I remind them of someone, but they never think of who. That's a problem we run into at work. I can unfailingly sense the sexual orientation of anyone I see.
That's oddly specific.
Magical potions give me hiccups for a few minutes. The touch of stone on my bare skin gives me vibes. I seem to have swapped the concepts of sober and intoxicated. I must imbibe to stay sober, and intoxication is my normal state.
Basically.
Food flavor to me seems related to color more than anything else. All green foods taste more or less the same. All white foods seem similar, and so on. You know, I was just asking a question earlier when we were cleaning up. What does the taste of the color purple smell like?
Plums.
See, I was told grapes earlier, but
What does the taste of the color purple
Smell like.
like?
Yeah.
Smell like. Wow.
I'm gonna say Barney.
That's a
So,
so hot, sweaty male.
I was gonna say.
right. So there's some examples of some quirks.
I was gonna say, are you actually gonna read through all these examples?
There's a lot.
There's like 3 pages.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't read. No. All I saw was the first page. That's all you get out of me.
I'm allergic to 357.
I just read that.
I can go. I have mine down. Essos's quirk is that sometimes pieces or chunks of my body fall off and become their own living elemental beings. These sprites are harmless, but hang around for a little bit before they leave and find their own way in the world. Small chunks of my body that fall off are quick to grow back. I don't know what that was about. You
A
good?
little bit of leprosy.
You probably shouldn't drink when we explain these.
You know about this beforehand too. That's the best part.
Oh shit.
It's more a matter of just plain coughing when trying to take a drink.
Ah, gotcha.
I'll go next. For Ileana, I'm going to make one up. I'm not looking at the reference table. But where she turns tales into reality, and it's all about her writing stories and whatnot. I'm going to say that when she walks barefoot, she leaves wet footprints behind her, like a trail.
Like even if she's dry, just
Yes,
like
even
always
if she's
leaving
dry,
wet
it's
footprints.
just there's always magical wet footprints behind her.
It's awesome. I love that.
It's the remnants of the bloody footsteps from all the murder scenes. Right. And to be sure, you guys are noting all of this in your character sheets, right?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Where's that
Yeah,
again? No.
out on Scabbard, leaving messages now.
All right.
So mine's gonna be when I get angry, like literal black smoke comes out of my ears.
I love that.
That works.
How you doing?
I totally forgot about quirks.
How you doing?
We reminded you.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Too slow. Vladimir's quirk is that his reflection does not show up in mirrors.
Just like a vampire.
Fitting.
Yeah, I guess we didn't go too far down the road on exactly what the deal is with the characters, huh? Just read the sentence. Oh,
I
shit.
thought we'd get into that when we did the whole neighborhood foundation thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so we've got quirks, connections. Were you guys able to figure out connections? No, some.
No, I did mine.
Yes, I think I have none connections. I think
You
as
should have one
as a bazaar. I think.
as a
I-
maker. You should have level 1 connection to the Order of Makers. It comes with the
Right.
class.
Right. You're right. You're right. I do have that marked in my character sheet, but not on my other sheet template. Thank you.
Yep. I have no other connections than the Makers one to start with.
And I decided to just keep 2 levels of connections with Remy with Bay.
Ah, okay. You guys will get to meet Remy later on.
Cool.
Remy's good people.
I think of them about
Do
as a
apostates get a
mint.
connection to apostates because they're not an official? I don't think so. So I don't think I have any connections. At least not that I see. Other than my obvious connection to the Sanguine, or the Seminole Sanguines.
Okay.
Makes sense.
So that's like a -1 connection at this point.
Yeah. Can you do a -1 connection?
He's got bad blood there.
Okay, so
Yeah.
That's a good one.
How about level 1 connection to anybody who hates the Order of Sanguine?
Just me.
It's a very short list.
That's how it starts. One thing I was confused about was filling up the Qualia and Certes pools. I didn't know how I was supposed to allocate those stats, because coming from another well-known tabletop role-playing game, you choose those proficiencies as you're creating your character. So I was kind of unclear what modifiers I should have in those pools.
Go to your gallon, so your bazaar.
Yep.
Read. What? Maybe it's not bazaar.
No, it's under your heart.
Heart
Gallon.
gallon.
So stoic.
Sure.
Stoic.
Sure.
Also, if you go from your player, you should have them all on your right side too.
Sweet.
So you have 7 Certes, 10 Qualia, and you have 6 that you can distribute as you want between the 2.
Yep.
And then you choose how those are divided between the 4.
Gotcha. Yeah, I did.
Under those pools.
Awesome. I did distribute them across the 2. I might rearrange that, but then I take. Oh, I kind of get it. So then, say I have 10 Qualia. Nice. Yeah. So say I have 10 Qualia, I could do like 10 points as I choose into those different categories. Cool. Awesome.
It took me a minute as well.
Yep. Because again, in other game, it's like you have strength score of 18, so you have +3.
If you plan on doing magical things, make sure you have enough points in your sorcery and your sortilege. It's 1 point per level of whatever you're attempting.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Also,
I'm
you don't
going
want to skimp out on movement either.
Yeah.
I can save your ass in heartbeat.
And these are pretty much spent like a pool instead of a stat. So like if you have 2 in movement, you'll be able to spend 2 to help you with movement rolls.
Gotcha.
So it's less of a stat and more of a consumable resource.
Gotcha. Do you get those back when like rest or something like
Yep.
that?
Yep. My quirk is my Quaalia and Surtees pools refill every time I blink. But I have no eyelids.
I'm sure that means something new to come up with. That's gonna be me.
Mm.
All right. NPC bonds. So this is how we pull you guys together.
Yeah.
You guys had an opportunity to think about how you all is going to be connected.
I thought that was your job.
Yeah.
No,
Doesn't
I've
it
got
say
the
right there your job?
The GM.
Hold on, let me edit this PDF real quick.
You're gonna get grounded.
The only NPC bond that I started to work on was the one I sent to Brian earlier, and that is my character. Um, should I start explaining like the focus of my craft and stuff? Should we wait on that? Is that
I
something
think
we?
it's fine to do. I mean,
Okay.
we're gonna have to get to a point of everybody understanding what we're all about anyway. So.
Fair. So to explain my NPC bond a little bit, the focus of my craft, since I no longer have the elemental powers I once did from Eldros, my goal is to not get those powers back, but to reverse engineer the ritual that gave me those powers to create the next me. To do so, I need to figure out how do I make fingers, knees, legs, arms, a torso, etc. So the focus of my craft is essentially prosthetics or parts that I then will sell to a changery. So one of my NPC bonds I started to come up with was this guy who works in a changery. Still don't know what his name's going to be. It is a very rough draft. So that's something I could definitely use some help with. Is
Frank.
Frank? Frank, cool. Frank, last name Sinat. Frank Stein. Oh, okay. See, we're getting somewhere. We are getting somewhere. Frank N. Stein.
And he's the doctor of the changery. This just works.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
See?
beat mine. I was going to go Jesse the Body.
Frank N. Stein. Um, so that's one NPC bond I started to work on a little bit. That's all I got so far, though.
So Frank N. Stein.
Frank N. Stein, Dr. Frank N. Stein.
PhD Joe.
Is going to work at currently an unnamed changery that is in my neighborhood. And then I essentially all of my spares, all of my parts that like aren't up to snuff, I then turn and sell to the changery.
Okay.
So,
You have a almost dead body man over here.
this could be where. Anyway, so like if I'm reading it right, this NPC bond would be like my bond with Bellatrix.
Sure.
Okay. Do you want me to introduce her at this point?
Yeah, sure. That sounds good.
All right. So Bellatrix. I don't know if you guys have all seen Bella, but this is
Mm-hmm.
all right. So Bella is a hollow that lives in the hollows, and at a young age she was kidnapped by a powerful maker and geotic or goetic, however you guys want to say it.
Yeah.
They planned on turning her into a vessel for a dark spirit that he was going to summon and put into her body so they could use his power, which was to which was to devour the flesh of the living beings and then animate their skeletons under the control of the spirit. However, when the experiment went horribly wrong, the Viscerae were relieved of their flesh, leaving nothing but their skulls. and it was trapped inside Bella. Over the years, Bella's body, which is made out of ceramic, because she is a hollow, has cracked, and his powers leak out, and she can grab a hold of it and control it. She cannot figure out how to control the living dead, but she can absorb flesh off of living beings. Um, this has earned her the title of Grim Reaper in the Hollows, and she is a friend and often lets
Evil best friend.
she is friends with Z and often lets her like squat in her apartment. She spends the days working in the Hotel Moribond and tending to the dying.
We've got to find a better word than squat.
Squatting?
Yeah.
That is an actual word.
Oh, I know it is. I'll say Z is squatting in her place, and I'm just like Z sitting there. Taking
All right,
piss from
she's a
squat.
couch surfer and she finds herself on her couch all the
Hey, that works.
time. And yeah. So that's one of my bonds. Do you want the other one?
I'm just thinking like that part about she takes or consumes or removes the flesh off her.
Relieves them of their
Yeah, like definitely need to understand that no means no because that could be really really bad. Damn.
Well, she tries to do it to the dying, not anyone else. They
Oh.
ask her for the
Oh,
service.
okay.
But
So
sometimes evil's evil, right?
okay. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of excited to see how she fits into things and the kind of fun and torment she causes for.
I need my flesh, and I need it fresh.
Did you want me to do the other one? Her little companion guy too?
Oh yeah, sure.
All right. So my other bond is one second, let me pull him up. His name is Azami Adromilik. And when Z was in the shadow, her parents had rescued this little creature from another carnival that was abusing their performers, and he latched onto Z because Z could understand what he was saying. Um, Everyone else thought Z was crazy and said that he didn't say anything. But he is a fire demon from the fire realm, and he was the king of the fire realm until his wife casted him out into a smaller, lesser form to the human realm. And he is searching for his way to reopen the fire realm and take control of his minions and burn the shadow to the ground. But he's best friends with Z because she raised him and brought him back to health, and he is her little companion. And in this lesser form, he has no control over fire. He's just immune to any type of fire, including lava. And he is referred to as King by Z.
So if you throw them into a volcano, is it just like throwing someone in a bathtub?
Yeah, similar. I mean, I think it'd be harder to swim in lava, but he's got really tiny arms, so he's a lesser fire demon.
Yeah.
All right. Ileana is a writer because she turns tales into reality as her forte. So her NPC bond is a woman that runs the Great Library in Fartown, whose name is Alexandria. And Alexandria is not really a woman. She is actually the construct or the consciousness of the Great Library. Um, the Great Library itself um, holds all types of non-magical work. So this is like a library of fiction, which is an oddity in Fartown because everybody's interested in magic tomes and research and stuff like that.
Mm.
So this library houses artistic work. Just like the namesake, every so many years, the Great Library, Alexandria, catches fire and loses large portions. It's stuck in like a time loop of every so often the library burns and loses half of the works that are in it. So Alexandria spends all of her time tending to the library and trying to break the curse.
That's kind of a little sad. Like, we're gonna get rid of this chunk. We don't need this anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, that's another library in the mix. I like it.
Nice.
So, what was the percentage of the library that got disappeared?
I believe it's half. The library burns to the ground every, I think, 63 years.
Alexandria?
Yeah.
Or,
Alexandria, and then on her link, she has the Great Library in Fartown.
alright, so we got Alexandria showing her off. Some of the cool things about this whole scabbard thing is just everything being able to link together. You can just do a quick click and get over to this. Click over to the classic view, give big picture. Oh, is it on her side that it actually says how much of it gets taken away?
I don't think I wrote it out there publicly because that was something that I wanted to leave for you out in the secrets.
Oh,
Like it's not going to be a widely known thing that everybody. Oh, don't worry about it. The library burns every 63 years, like
Yeah.
clockwork. You know.
gotcha. Okay. I'm still looking forward to this whole library idea. I got ideas already.
Nice.
So half the library burns down. So is that like half of the complete books, or half of the books get removed and half of them stays throughout half of the library? Like, is this Thanos level, like, disintegration?
Could be the top, could be the bottom, could be from wherever. But it's like a faded cycle. Like no matter what she does, the library's destined to burn.
She needs to hire a water elemental. Yeah.
I can take care of it.
Yeah, you're not allowed nearby a library. Caught fire's eye.
Yeah. Hey,
You're
Fireball.
permanently banned. Your library card's revoked.
So I'm thinking an NPC contact connection to one of the, not like top dogs, but like middle dogs of one of the other cousins.
Oh, okay.
So I'm currently trying to dig through the Edge campaign looking for who you had there, because I was hoping we could just reuse one of them.
Oh, yeah. I can point you in the direction of them.
Okay. But one that's like somewhat friendly to the Seminole Sanguines, one I would have interacted with before. Maybe like a distant, twice removed cousin of some sort. Who regularly has access to some information regarding the Sanguines, but may not always be 100% reliable. and in return, he's always asking for something. What's that something? Workshop it. Go.
What's he asking for in return for
All of his
for the
information.
favors?
Yeah.
Oh, it's got to be something strange, extremely hard to get.
The teeth of a white virgin.
They don't exist.
Oh my god. You okay over there?
Incredible. I don't know. What would you want?
think
Blood.
a stolen memory.
Information
It
for
can't be your
information.
memory. It's got to be a memory you've stolen from somebody else.
Oh, that's a cool.
Yeah,
Memory.
that's really good.
What they do with all the stolen memories, well, that's up to our brave DM to figure out.
Oh, I have to figure that out.
He's like, should I be writing this shit down?
Yeah. I
um,
thought you were taking notes.
He smokes them like
I mean, I did bring a
crack
notebook.
addict, where he like consumes them and lives vicariously through these memories that aren't his, but it like burns the memory. He smokes it like a joint.
I'm here for that. Shows my shrug.
I'm struggling a little bit with deciding what to invest my qualia points into, because Certes is pretty like straightforward, like accuracy, physicality, movement, perception. But I feel like qualia is gonna play more into challenges that I try to do as a maker.
I highly recommend dumping as much as you can into sorcery,
Yeah,
only because that's going to determine you're going to spend that when you make items. Whenever you use magic, you're going to spend it.
gotcha.
And like even if you only have a level 2 spell,
Hmm.
like if you have 6
Yeah.
sorcery, you can cast it 3 times, which
Gotcha.
isn't much,
Gotcha.
you know, before having to rest. So
Gotcha.
you know, if you start with like 2 sorcery, you're going to be completely impotent.
Gotcha. I'm gonna put 6.
And then I had to look up sortilege because what the heck kind of stat is that?
I think it has something to do with rolling dice, right?
Yeah. So sortilege is like basically when you do something and you want it to have magical effect, but you don't have a
Yeah.
specific spell that does that. A great example of sortilege is when Gandalf
Hmm.
yells at Frodo that he's not trying to take the ring, and the whole room turns dark, and he adds his magic to
Yeah.
what he's doing. That's sortilege.
Gotcha. Cool.
I wouldn't have thought of that one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Simple explanation.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Want a kiss?
Ooh.
Now you can tell Sam I kissed you.
I got my kisses from Kyle.
And you will work on this side of the table.
Right?
If you guys start kissing, it seem like you're from Kentucky. So.
Apologize to all the Kentucky followers out there.
Shout out to Cow's Milk 43. You many there were 42 others.
We do hope your teeth will come in soon.
I guess we take that apology back.
All right, so this seems like a bad thing to say, but now the fun begins. You actually start working on your neighborhoods. So you guys have already outlined some of the folks and the places that you are personally familiar with. Now we're going to come together and help flesh things out a little bit further for you as a group.
This is one of my favorite components of character building in Invisible Sun. The ability to flesh out the neighborhood, the rumors, and people that you know. So
Yeah.
I'm excited. Who's the first victim?
You.
That means I have to be quiet.
So,
Here, we'll roll for it.
I feel like we've got two invisible sun virgins here.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
for
like
sure.
we kind of need to showcase a little bit of what the expectation is. So I need the two of you to start off and show the kids what it's like.
So we should do one of their characters first, so that we are contributing instead of
Yeah.
sitting silently.
Yeah.
I'll go
Yeah.
first.
Okay.
Last one standing.
All right.
I'll go first.
All right. So
Everybody pulling them up.
yeah, let me. ESOS. ESSOS.
Oh, it's right at
Yep.
the top. He just updated it.
Yep,
What are we-
that's right.
I was
Oh.
pulling his character up, so
there are two.
damn, you're ugly.
Wait, there are
Smile.
two?
Oh wait,
Yeah, there's one that is just Essos, and then there's
You got a little something something hanging there.
Why are you looking at his something?
What?
Dude, that's weird.
Just saying.
Why are you looking at his something?
you gotta dribble to your grovel.
I don't know if that's
Alright.
your nose or not, but you might want to wipe it.
So, from top to bottom, you want to give us a full explanation of who and what Essos is, so we
Sure.
can figure out where the rest of the world fits around him.
Sure, absolutely. So Essos is kind of like an elemental construct from a plane that I've invented called Eldros. Eldros, that plane's like utmost important thing is the elements being in harmony, and like if even there's the smallest tip in the scales, like it's in Eldros. So in doing